Hello good people of YouTube and welcome to my hobby channel. The wonderful guys at Great Escape Games recently sent me a preview sample of their Gallows kit and it arrived today in the post and I have had the pleasure of being able to build it in this video here. So this literally landed through my letterbox this morning. I know what's inside, you can probably guess what's inside. Let's take a look. Hopefully you can see this okay. I'm not just filming the instruction leaflet because that causes my camera to strobe and flicker. So that's why it's off to one side here. But basically these are the Gallows instructions, which I've had a quick look at already. So I'm going to build the Gallows in a second. The thing that interested me most of all was the figures that populated this. Sprue, we'll have a look at those as well. There's a guy there, hands behind his back, bag over his head and a noose around his neck. And there is another guy here with his hands tied behind his back and he's not yet been prepared for execution. Some kind of official here with the option for two different things. Looks like it might be a Bible or perhaps some kind of death warrant or something. And then this chap here holding or not holding the lever. Now there are two trapdoors on this, so I would imagine you would have a separate lever for each. I'm no expert in the execution of criminals, so I don't know, but that would seem to make sense to me. If it was a public execution, that you would maybe not want to do everything all in one go. Can't actually see anything on the instructions where it says to place the lever. I'm guessing that's down to personal choice. But what a wonderful kit. I'm really looking forward to building this. And here is the sprue with all its parts. So let's take a closer look at the figures. I won't bother zooming in on all the Gallows framework or anything. That's fairly straightforward. We can admire that when it's built. The head of an official there in a top hat and the head covered with a bag and the noose around its neck. So we've got a hand with a Bible there and some kind of official warrant or execution certificate there, and a pointy hand. This has been moulded in two parts, obviously to get the coattails on. So these elements here will make up the official, and then the head and that body there, which has the hands tied behind the back, that's your condemned man. So trapdoors, nooses, vacant nooses, and then on this side we've got two more heads and two more bodies. That body there without any arms, and another body there with hands tied behind the back. So the body with no arms, again there's a choice of four arms here. So there we go. Hand pulling the lever with a sleeve around the wrist, and there's a hand with a sleeve around the wrist, and then hand reaching for the lever, which is up here in this corner, and that's the lever that has not been pulled, and that has the sleeves rolled to the elbows and matches that hand. So that's important to note when you're building this. That looks like the head of the condemned man, and that is the head of the executioner. Okay, so the first bit I need is the base for the gallows and the two sides with the legs on. I'll cut the trapdoors out, but I'm not going to stick them on yet. I want to keep those separate. There's a sound I haven't heard for a while. Quick clean up. Carefully removing the detachment scars. Still dropping things. Oh dear. Getting too old for this. Okay, so these fit there. Just trying to dry fit this first. There. Okay, so the next stage will be the central leg there, which has some cross beams that come over and will meet with the bottom of these here. So that's just what I wanted to get lodged into my brain. Glue. Glue on this side as well. Right. Whilst that glue is still wet, I will get the end pieces on here. That's the side supports here. Snip that and that. Right, so there is a right and a wrong way around for this because these need to overlap. So this needs to protrude on the inside. So this is the outside. Bit of glue to go in here and then a dab of glue on the bottom corner there. Same with this one. So there we have the Gallows platform with supports. Now the main beam. Just clean that up. Whoop. There are some very subtle mould lines there. If that bothers you, you can just run a scalpel blade along like that to take it off. It runs with the grain of the wood, so it's not a biggie, and I'm building this for speed in the video, so I'm not going to get too worked up about anything like that. I can clean it off camera, but it's as easy as that. And you can just use a scalpel. You don't need a sprue cleaning tool or anything like that, mold line cleaning tool or anything. Right, there we are. That would be where the noose is attached, and that's actually at the rear, or is it the front? I'm just looking. Yeah, so that's actually at the front. That's actually at the front of this. At this stage, it doesn't seem to matter. The front or back is determined by where you place the stairs and the railings. Let's get glue on the pins at the bottom of the beams. Drop that into there, give it a gentle push. Now I'm filming this, which is a bit awkward, but obviously you want to make sure that that is upright when it dries. So I might leave this for a minute somewhere flat and come back to it. Whilst that dries, I'm going to build the stairs up to the platform. And these are the sides. If you've built any of the buildings, this is all very familiar. Easy to put together and understand, even without the instructions. So again, clean up the detachment scars. Okay, so the instructions tell you to glue the back on first. Don't suppose it matters, but just make sure that's flat and smooth there. Right, so we'll get glue. Hopefully you can see that fitting there, the little teeth it's got to help. And then this, same principle, some teeth there, slot under there, and a little bit of glue on there as well. If you can see that slightly thicker where it'll make contact. So a bit of glue on the teeth there, bit of glue on that there. Come in there. Missed that. Whoop. Missed those end pieces off there. Bit of glue on those as well. Slot that back in place. Just push that down. So there we go. Stairs. So that gets us halfway through. And we basically end up with something like that. Yeah. So we've got short railings, medium railings, and long railings. There we go. So, just a dry fit there. That goes the other side apparently. Yes, it will. And then that leaves room for the railing at this edge of the steps. This should hopefully fit the other side there. Right, this just demonstrates how important it is to kind of do a dry fit before you get the glue out, just to get your head round what you're building, even if it is a nice, easy construction like this. Subtle little things, because instinctively I was thinking that should go there, but it doesn't. It goes that side. Right, there we are, detachment scar. It's on this side, so I'm going to get a tiny bit of glue on the inside edge there, and 3 of those posts. And then there we go. Hopefully you can see that's quite easy to fit there, and it does help then keep the main post of the gallows upright, so that will then slot in there. There we are. Oh, just noticed one there that's not as clean as it could be. Get glue on the bottom of these all the way along. So we come in there with that one onto the top of that, which is nice. There we go. So we'll get the stairs glued on at this point. I thought maybe if I left them off, it would be easier to paint, but I don't think that's going to be the case. And I think the railings will just help add some strength to the join as well. So we'll get these in here. like so. Right, there we are. The gallows. I'll just cut the trapdoors off and drop them into place, even though I'm not going to glue them. Hopefully once I clean them up, they'll just slot in. There we go. Okay, so there we have the main structure of the gallows. All I need to do now is build the characters to populate it, which I'll do now, but I'm not going to glue them onto the gallows at this point. First one I want to do is the condemned man. Okay, a little bit of glue on the neck there. See how that looks. Just noticed a bit that I've missed there. Just grab that there, right. Oh, I love this. Absolutely beautiful. Such a characterful miniature. There we are. Hopefully that wasn't all off screen. Right, very quickly what I want to do is see if I can stand. Yes, he will stand in there without being glued, which is great. And the reason why I don't want to glue them at this stage is because I have a feeling this might look really cool for Mordheim. Okay, so I'll just show you these. These are the two nooses that I've snipped off and cleaned. So if you want to do empty gallows, you can glue them in place, and that's great. It's an old Bretonian miniature. So that works. Here's the other condemned man. Doesn't have a bag on his head yet. Again, very quickly, just clean off the detachment scars. Put some glue in there. Put the head on. Slight twist to the head. It just makes it more natural. There we go. Right, so this guy, I guess, is the executioner. Head with a bowler hat there. I'll get the head on first. And again, a bit of a sideways look if possible. Just makes for a better pose than figures that are looking straight forward without any real reason for looking straight forward. And then if we elevate that arm slightly, he's hesitating, waiting, and this arm will be reaching out. I won't actually glue this in contact, so it doesn't really matter, but just make sure it's at the right height there. That's quite a good pose for a railroad signalman as well. Anyway, that's the executioner that I'll be using. And finally, the town official. Right, we'll get some glue on there. Trousers in there. That's quite a nice fit. Right. Head. Probably addressing the crowd, this guy. But if he's pointing, then I want his head to follow the direction of that finger. Oh, right, so let's get that arm on. There. That's nice. So there we have my second figure. And here we have the final Gallows kit for Dead Man's Hand. Assembled, ready for painting. I've blue tacked a couple of the figures in place because I didn't want to glue them down before I'd actually painted the whole scaffold and everything. I've really enjoyed building this model. I think it's absolutely superb and it's going to look fantastic on the gaming table. I hope you've enjoyed this sneak preview. Thanks again to the guys at Great Escape Games for sending me this. I really do appreciate it. And I think you'll agree it really is a superb model. As always, thanks very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please smash that like button. Please subscribe for more videos like this. If you want to leave a comment, please do, but please keep those comments kind and respectful. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next one.